All right. So dynamic tags and user and device isolation. So when we think about Timus at the core, we're securing users and devices going through a private encrypted traffic tunnel, right? And we have our ZTNA to make sure that devices passing our predefined conditional access can get into our virtual private network. So user and device isolation is there to ensure that any type of corruption we can limit their access, right? Or just basically kill their access altogether until the device is deemed healthy. So now pivoting over to how you would set this up within Timus, the first thing that you must do is integrate Timus with either Bitdefender, Heimdall, Microsoft Defender, or SentinelOne. Step 2 is to create some dynamic tags. And dynamic tags are being fed to us from this integration. So that's why that's step number 1. And so we would set this as dynamic. We would set this to devices, and we would choose this to be based off the device posture check, right? Because our device posture check, again, is to reiterate, is there to block devices from entering the network that don't meet our requirements, but this is there to also ensure that once they're connected, that they stay connected based on specific health requirements. So for example, let's say we're using SentinelOne. We're getting, is the device infected? Is the disk encrypted? Is the agent outdated? Is the agent installed? And confirming the operating system. So device infected, that's the most obvious one, right? And so if I come back to my tags, I already have a bunch built, so I'll list these out. So malware detected, installed, etc. So you're going to take those, I guess, objects, right? Those data points that we would get from the endpoint protection software, create your dynamic tags, and then step 3, and the final step, is to now apply those tags as firewall rules, right? So if I go back to my slide deck here for 1 second, mind you, we have full control over what goes through the network. I'll draw on my slide for a second, right? We have full control. The firewall is here where I'm drawing to restrict and micro-segment who gets access to what. So if I come in and I create my source as tag and I create my description as device isolation, I can choose as many of these as I want into the same rule, or I can separate them. Let's say high risk, malware detected, etc., right? Boom. And now my destination could be anything, right? So the easiest one would be, I want to block it from the network, right? If my device is infected, I don't want it touching anything. Some other options could be, and I'll go back to my slide deck one more time, I promise. If we think about an architecture where we're using this as a VPN to a local server, maybe you don't want to block it from everything because of common false positives. Or for other reasons, maybe you just want to outright deny access to the server and still leave them access to the internet. You can pick and choose. That's the beauty of this. An example here, I'll shout out one of our great partners, FutureSafe. They asked me to build a rule for one of their customers showing, okay, I want to isolate those devices from everything except for that website, their MSP website, so they can go in and they can create a ticket. So the way that the firewall rule works, because of rules, right, we have the deny rule, and right above it, we have the rule saying only allowing access under that tag to futuresafe.com. This is a great way to tie Timus into your existing security products to make sure that once devices are into the network, we can rely on our other tools to tell us when it's time for them not to have access to those mission critical resources under the worst case scenario. To go back to the dynamic component, this is an integration, so this is fed in real time. And once those devices are cleared and moved out of those tags, obviously they would be able to regain access to all of those network resources. Thank you for listening. If you have any additional questions, please email support@timusnetworks.com, or within our help center, there is a feature request section if you have any improvement suggestions, or you can reach out to your main point of contacts and account executive if you'd like a further breakdown, some help, or any further walkthroughs. Thank you for watching.